Joachim Bitterlich is a former German ambassador to NATO.
First of all, it's a totally untypical NATO summit with certain public elements we have never seen before. But let's put this aside. This is the first real NATO summit, what I call within, and I take this new German expression, within this Zeitenwende. It's a deep change of time, and it's a new time of NATO to some extent. And therefore, it's one of the most important NATO summits we have been observing in the last, let's say, last 20 years.
And President Trump's supporters presumably will say that he's pulled off an absolute diplomatic masterstroke here. He's made almost everyone cough up 5%. Would you go along with that?
Well, it's due to American pressure. It's right. And we needed, to some extent, this American pressure to wake up in Europe. Because when you look at the last 20 years in Europe, we have been sleepwalking to some extent, despite of, let's say, the Russian aggression in Ukraine towards, let's say, the developing, unsecure world around us. We have been sleepwalking for too long time. And now Europeans are step by step, a bit slowly, but they are waking up. And therefore, this is a really important summit if we are able to take out of this summit the right consequences for our own defense and for security policy.
So is this level of defense spending, 5%, realistic?
I take Reuter's formula, 3.5 plus 1.5. I think this is the right formula at the end of the day. I think it's, for me, feasible for the majority of NATO members. It has to be done when you look at the underinvestment in defense in Europe in the last 20 years. It's right, and there's a real necessity. Our real problem will be how to speed up and how to get, at the end of the day, a real coherent NATO defense and possibilities of intervention. That's the key for me.
Can Europe truly stand on its own within NATO, or does it still and will it continue to rely very heavily on Washington?
Well, to some extent, we have to continue to rely on the US, yes. But we will have to be able to rely, let's say, at a lower level to the US than before. Because the US have certain other goals, objectives, or problems ahead of them. And the Europeans have to develop, let's say, their own, let's say, defense